Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's B from Kongs R Us, and welcome to The Next Level. This is my weekly podcast show where I bring you next level things, projects, community members, and man, do we have an awesome show today. I have an amazing guest, if you didn't see from the thumbnail, a guy who built his own Infinity game table because he said, Arcade1Up, that looks kind of cool. I can play some of these Hasbro games, but I can make this way better. And so I'm going to bring him on in a second. His name is Viet, aka Veebster. He's going to be freaking awesome to talk to because not only did he build his own Infinity game table, he's an amazingly talented retro arcade gamer that does other projects with Pies and PCs. He does Hyperspin AIO things. So I'm going to talk to him about a lot of different things that he does. But I wanted to just start off the show by saying hello to folks that are here in the chat. Thank you all so much for being here. I see Papa Brad's Gaming, Cryotech. I appreciate everybody here. And Mrs. Kongs R Us is here saying hello, hello, welcome.
Hello.
Oh my goodness, what do you have here?
A Porto's fruit tart.
Wow, this looks freaking delicious. This is a Porto's fruit tart. If you're ever in the Southern California area and you're looking for a bakery to go to, this is it. Porto's dragon fruit. You're back to work. Look at that beautiful wife bringing me a Porto's bakery fruit tart in the middle of the show. Thanks. I might not be able to eat that during the show, but I will be eating it at some point. So hopefully Viet can talk for a little while I take a bite, because that looks freaking awesome. But hello, everybody, for being here. Cryotech, I appreciate everybody that's here in the chat saying hello. I did want to recognize that we did hit our 4K subscriber mark yesterday. For those that didn't see, I did a very quick stream yesterday. Today's quality looks much better. I apologize for our video quality stream for last night. We had some wireless internet issues, but it looks better now. So I'm glad that you guys can see us and hear us just fine. But leave a like and comment on that video to enter into my giveaway. So we're going to be giving away a lot of crap. We're giving away a Legends Gamer Mini, an Arcade1Up Dig Dug that's right there. And then also for a grand prize, I always love to give out commissions to do a Star Wars mod. So if you ever had Star Wars mod and you want to mod it and you want my services to kind of help you out, it's not something that I promote very often, but I just love that mod so much. I have a tutorial. People can do it on their own, but happy to help the community out with getting them in for time big pimping. I don't know if it's big time pimping, but it is pretty cool to have that many people joining the channel and following along and even watching these live streams. I never thought I'd be doing this, so consistently and frequently, but it's been fun and I'm having a good time. Mrs. Kongzarus is having a good time. And my favorite thing to do is really this show where I can bring and talk to smarter people than me about cool stuff. And so speaking of smarter people, I'm going to bring him on right now. His name is Viet, aka Veebster, all the way from the UK. It's super late there. Here he is. Welcome to the stream, Mr. Viet, aka Veebster, man. How's it going?
Hey, not too bad. I don't know about being smarter though. I've seen your mod. They're good. They're good.
It's about that collaboration, man. Like where you can talk to people that are doing cool things. And I'm sure you've seen some of my stuff, but I've witnessed your things from afar and stuff that you've been putting together with this Infinity game table. You always like to sneak peek post it, and sometimes you'll send me a message like, check this out. And I'm like, how the hell did he do this? And like, those are just times where you appreciate the talent that's in this community, and talking to you is such a pleasure. But for folks that don't know who you are, why don't you do a quick introduction to Veebster and just a little bit of background on you?
Hey, hi. So I've been quite silent in the kind of retro kind of world. I mean, I've done a lot in the emulation things.
Yeah.
In terms of doing bits and pieces with front ends and things like that, and just following along and learning as I go along. And it's only till kind of maybe the last few years that I've really got doing things that I can do and having the ability to them, because things are getting cheaper and it's easier to get a hold of things now. But yeah. Predominantly, I'm in the IT world for work,
okay.
And that's application support, but it's really boring. And I'd rather be doing this all day long. But it's one of those things.
Yeah. So you have that background in tech, it looks like, and emulation has been around for so long, right? Whether it was with the PC, and I know Pis have gotten a lot bigger, but the next phase has been not only just can I put this on my PC and play with the controller, but what applications can now I put this into that's more functional, like a table, like an arcade machine. Like to your point, things are getting cheaper for us to do these crazy things. So like, how long have you been doing it? And like, what are some of the projects that you've been working on outside of the Infinity game table?
So I mean, even like going back to 2010, I bought one of the very first kind of IR touchscreens before touchscreens were a thing on laptops and everything, and I kind of fitted it onto my own screen and everything, and I thought, awesome, this is going to be the future. And now you can actually buy all this stuff super easily from China, super fast as well. So I've always been waiting for technology to catch up. So essentially, there's been a massive spate of things I've been able to do recently. So I've done the Infinity table. I've done a Lego project with Outrun Cab, which I've always wanted to do. Loads of mini arcades, and I think the latest one I'm working on is getting prepped for Halloween, doing the picture frame that kind of moves with motion control.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's
one of the latest things. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. So we're going to show off some of those things too. We have some folks in the chat here. Big Reese is here all the way from Australia, as well as Brent. So hello. We have some international folks, and he was talking about the pinball, right? And so pinball has also been another big topic in the community, virtual pinball. And for folks that haven't seen it, Arcade1Up patches came out yesterday, and people have been able to load all 3 versions of those tables into a single machine. So that's freaking awesome. Have you dived into virtual pinball at all, or is that just something out of?
So the infinity table I created was to be a pinball table.
Oh, was it?
I,
So you're
I can't
yes.
I can't have enough room. So you guys in America have got huge houses and huge loads and loads of space and giant garages. I've got a tiny little room, so I don't have enough room to have a full size pinball table. So I thought, I'll have a coffee table, and that'll be my pinball table as well. So saving on space, and the wife won't kill me.
I think I have a video of you playing pinball on one of these things too. But let's just let me pull up this table. Is this the right video of you doing pinball? No, this is the water thing.
That's having a fish tank in my coffee table, because I wanted to do that as well, but it's not a real one. But I don't have to feed the fish.
So yeah, this is the touchscreen one. All right, so I think it's this one. It's hard to see. There it is. All right. Yeah. So this is a pinball touchscreen interface. Talk about this. So this is your infinity table. We're just talking about pinball. We'll talk about how we did this in a second. But go ahead, talk about this.
So essentially, this is a Pi 4 running an image that Ramono, I think, it released recently, Out of My Mind Pinball, and it's a Pi 4 running Android, and basically it runs FX3 Zen Studios Pinball, and that's already a touchscreen on Android. So essentially, having a USB connect in from the tabletop, I can use it just like a giant tablet. So it works as the pinball table.
So he's playing. So this Android-based FX3 tables, right? So the ones that would come through, and it works. So he's loading it up. Has its own little front end. That was custom, right? The front end.
The front end he put was custom, but anyone can, as long as you've got Android running, you can use your Android phone. You can use any Android device that has the output to the HDMI.
Isn't this freaking cool? Everybody's like, "OMG, look at that! It's pretty slick."
What's really cool is that I've just realized that the PC version of FX3 Pinball is touchscreen compatible too.
Oh, is it?
So that will also work. Don't have to have Android. You can use run the PC version.
Oh, nice.
So you can get super high res and super effects shaders.
Yeah. So somebody's asking, how big is the touchscreen? Let's get into the actual build itself, and I can show off some of the build. So I just teased about what you could do with this table. Like the possibilities is essentially a blank canvas, and you've done so much with it in terms of an all-in-one machine. I love it. I love the freaking thing. So that was a sneak peek since we were talking pinball and what you did with it. But what's the size of the TV while I pull up some of the build pictures?
So it's a 40-inch TV. Essentially, and with the 40-inch touchscreen part of it, so it's basically got a freaking huge iPad, basically.
Yeah, and then so 40 inches total, and the base of it, you actually bought a real coffee table, correct?
Yes. Yeah. So I was on eBay. I was going through it, and I saw the coffee table. It was like, oh, that could work. So I bought it on a chance. So if it couldn't be converted, I still have a nice coffee table. And
look at that with the black top. So this was its stock, right? And then it was just, and you were able to gut it and then place the TV inside of it. So, okay, so this was the original TV or base. I like it. It actually looks like a coffee table. It's the right size. And then you stuck it, and then what did you start doing to it?
So they'd already glued the glass onto the table, which was a pain in the butt. So I had to get all my wife's kitchen knives and use them as shims on the side, and then heat gun the glue off until it popped.
Is that what this was?
Yeah, that's all the kitchen.
I was wondering what your chicken knives.
My wife was so angry.
So heat gun it and then pry it off. Is that?
And it was scary because I didn't want to break the glass, right? But it took a while just being cautious.
Yeah. So did you reuse the glass then? That black glass?
Yes. Okay. So basically, I measured up the TV, marked it out, and then I got a circular saw, and just ripped the square out, the rectangle out, and then ripped out the drawers, took out the inner structural parts, and then essentially slotted the TV in. And it's a JVC Fire TV, so it's also got Amazon Fire TV built into it as well, so you can switch over and use that Prime Video on it.
Crowdtech says his wife would kill him as well if you're using it. Has anybody ever used household tools to like start doing stuff. That's pretty funny that you're using that. But
The only way I could find shims that would work to get underneath the table.
yeah, because it's really tiny. Otherwise, you'd have like a bunch of like I don't even know. I have this is like a little watch knife, right? You like pry it open, but yeah, you probably have to have so many for like a 40-inch
Oh, yeah.
TV. Yeah. Okay, so that's the TV that you fit
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
So
essentially, the only thing I found out about these TVs, they're not designed to be laid flat down. So I had to add extra cooling, which is a little fan at the bottom that cools it, because I was getting overheating messages from the TV from laying on its back.
Oh, I see. Interesting. And but the fit of it looks like it was perfect. Like, did you measure it out that way too?
So what it is, I knew the dimensions of the table when I bought it.
Yeah.
So I could go just possibly up to 42, but I managed to think 40 would be just about right. So without making difficulties with fitting it in, but it worked really nicely. And then with the glass top, I had to put frog tape all the way around to make the bezel, and then use paint stripper. And about at least 2 hours worth of stripping paint just to get it the exact bezel I got on it for the glass table.
Yeah, cool. And so, all right, once you got that in, how did you then convert the TV to a touchscreen?
So I'm one of those guys that troll AliExpress day in day out and just see everything and trying to hunt that. And I managed to find a company that was doing a 40-inch touchscreen capacitance foil. Essentially, I didn't want the IR ones because it needs to be waterproof. It's a coffee table. You got for spills and things like that. So I managed to find something. It's pretty much like an iPad or an iPhone digitizer, but it's 40 inches. And I took a chance and bought it, and then waited about how long did I wait? Two weeks for it to arrive, and then I fitted it by do like you do window tinting. You tint it, you kind of squeegee soap and squeegee the soap out, and then make sure there's no bubbles, and then I plugged it in, and lo and behold, it picked up the Windows drivers instantly, so it worked.
Nice.
So I was like, spot on, awesome. Because most of the times you take a plant and you see if it's good or not, and most of the time it's not good, but it's really well, really good. I recommend it. It also picks up on Android, so essentially, I can work with Android and Windows with it.
Look at some of these specs on it. So 40-inch, 20 points interactive touch foil overlay.
It's not 20. It's actually 10. I think they messed up there. Yeah, 20.
Well, I was like, that's more than this one. But I think they said
but the thing is, though, I tested it by putting my two hands on and my foot, just just to see if it was 20. Yeah, but it's 10. It's only 10.
That's funny. Some of 80-inch touchscreen. So with these capacitive things, could you really make any size that you want to if you have the right kind of setup?
They can do custom, I think. So essentially, if you've got a big enough coffee table and a big enough TV, it can make anything touchscreen.
Yeah, that's cool. So, and so what on the touchscreen interface on like a PC once it's registered, does it register essentially as a mouse click? That's pretty much.
No. So Windows 7 and it brought in the original touchscreen stuff, and then the Surface tables came in. And it's designed for multi-touch, so it will pick up every individual finger as a mouse click.
Oh, interesting. Cool. So then you're actually using the touch interface of the system that you're using versus like, okay. Because I know some touchscreens just like make it into a mouse driver. Like I was gonna bring in my other touchscreens because I built an arcade with a 19-inch touchscreen, and then like I'm running some touchscreen games on it, but it's just essentially a mouse. But that's cool that you're setting that up.
It is essentially, but if it's been programmed for multi-touch, it will work. For multi-touch. But so pinch and zoom works. Like I tested it on Google Earth. And it works perfectly. It's quite awesome having Google Earth on the coffee table. You feel like you're in CSI.
So that's super cool. Okay, so when I was looking at the pictures of it a little bit more, I saw that there's kind of like a little edge piece to it. Is that part of something? The little thing on the side?
No, that's my wrist rest for my keyboard.
Oh, that's just your wrist rest. I was like, is that something that's needed for the table?
No. That's just the wrist rest for my keyboard.
So it's plain. So it's 100% flat when it's all done.
Yes, 100% flat. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. I thought you had to have something else to like have the center on. So once the glass is on, you're ready to roll. Yeah. And so, all right. So talk through some of this setup. So this looks like you did a cocktail table setup with this particular build that's running. What front end is this or system that you're using for
So
these?
this one, this main does the kind of flip as well automatically. But I also found out that you can do it within RetroArch with shaders. So that means you don't have to be stuck with arcade games and maybe you can actually do console games as well. So you could actually flip and mirror console games and play two-player that way as well. So essentially, it's just a shader that flips it into cocktail mode.
Yeah. Cool. And look at this, another application of having a vertical screen, a cocktail table. This
Yep.
is like the ultimate all-in-one custom build that you could do for yourself. So I mean, this is like functional furniture at its peak. This is like an infinity game table on steroids.
And it's bigger than an infinity table because I think the infinity was 32, right?
Yeah, it is. And so let's take a look at Viet's beautiful table right there. And then what I'm gonna do is show you what the regular infinity game table looks like. Here it is. Here's my infinity game table, the 32-inch one. It's it's functional. It's sitting next to me. I've actually been using it as top storage, you know, putting stuff on it, having it around. And it's been fun. It's been simple from a UI perspective. The good and bad thing about your table, and I probably will ask you this, is like how user friendly is it for somebody else to come in and play it, or do you need you to set it up? Are you setting it up where anybody can come and play with it?
Oh yeah, no, anyone can come play with it now. I've already hooked up the Stream Deck for launchers, so basically when they click a button, it'll come up with whatever to play. And I've had people around playing it. You know, they'll just come over and just play either vertical arcade shoot 'em ups or play the beat 'em ups, or basically have a board game. You know.
All right, so. I was trying to like be like, all right, where's one area, Viet, that you didn't think of? And I was like, the infinity game table is at least easy to use. That's the benefit of this interface, right? Because it's simple. But I do have a video of your Stream Deck thing, but there is one issue I have with this infinity game table right now. So beyond the simple interface for this, I have a touchscreen issue that I discovered right before the show, and I don't know what it is. And so I think you might have seen it. So I'm going to touch the screen, and I logged out because I needed to log into another account. But when I try to log in and type something, there's a ghost press on my keyboard. But it went away because now I'm on a live stream, and when I try to do something, then it goes away. So, but
I think a reboot helped.
Yeah, I know the reboot helped. I rebooted it twice; it wasn't working. So for a second ago, I was about to log into this and have it as a demo, but this little @ sign right here and this little button area was like pressing on its own for like a good 10 minutes, and I couldn't figure it out. Maybe it was dirty, there was a smudge or something, but I was gonna demo it live and be like, look, my IGT is broken, but now it's fixed, so now I can't complain about it. It's real. So, it's working.
I mean, the touch foil that came with that I got for my table, it's rated up to 12 mil glass, 12 millimeters. So you can't go above that. But anything below, and they recommend around about 6 millimeters in thickness.
All right, so I'll log back in then and take it off screen so you guys can see it. But anyways, it's working. I thought I had an issue. I was like, oh no, I was going to be the first to report an IGT issue, but I bet it was just dirty. I probably had a smudge on here. Right before the show, though, I had a bunch of crap on it. So maybe it was me. Maybe it was Optimus Prime that had his foot on there and it was just like dented in or something. Because I had stuff on it. It's storage space, right? It's a coffee table. Like, what else are you going to use it for? Yeah. I mean, so is it in your living room space right now? Is it ready to go? Yeah.
Yep. So I mean, it essentially that's what it is. I mean, everything's in my living room. That's the only room I'm allowed to head.
Talk about this. This is your Stream Deck right here, right?
Yeah. So I just thought of a quick, easy way to launch the launchers. I think that's what it was, and it's just to simplify it rather than having to kind of find a shortcut somewhere. Just press a button on the Stream Deck and fire it up. It's pretty easy in terms of, and as you can see, I've got a RetroBat, I've got Coin Ops, I've got Hyperspin all in one. I've also got the Diamonds 3 Coin Ops build, and I've got a Launchbox light gun set up on there as well.
Look how fast that is, though. So this is running PC, or is it connected to PC? Yeah,
connected to my PC. I've got a Ryzen 5 5700, I think it was 5600, and a 3070 graphics card.
Nice. I mean, from a even just loading perspective, that's the other bad thing about the IGT at the moment is that it
Uh,
is a tad bit slow from like
uh,
each system loading up. You can it almost feels like a very early Android tablet, right? Where just
got you.
the as you click on it, there's just that delay, there's the drag touch for stuff. But I saw you doing some of the touch screen interface. So like
Mm.
talk about the sensitivity. Do you feel like the sensitivity for the touchscreen on your table is good for the size and its responsiveness?
Yeah, it's really responsive and it's really quite fast. I mean, you can see some lag, but I think it's more the coding of the software.
Like this is an
So,
example of you dragging right here, right?
yeah,
So
yeah. Because I mean,
yeah.
you can see there's a slight lag on it, but this is because it's an Android program. I think what it is that things are more responsive depending on who's developed it and what system it's developed on. Because if you, I don't know if you got the video of the Surface screensaver of the fish.
Yeah, I can pull that up one more time. This one?
Because no, that's just the screensaver. That's not the touch version. I've got the other one. I mean, is it something I can show you quickly if I move the camera?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
So
is
if
it
I
this one? Is it this one? No, this is something
No,
else.
no, 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 no. Yeah. So if I got to, you can see there. This is the Surface touchscreen. This came out in Windows 7, and it's designed for multi-touch. So if I put my fingers on there, you can see it picks up
Oh
all the
yeah.
fingers,
Let me
and
make
it's
you full screen. There you go. Keep going.
yeah.
All
You
right.
can
So
see it's
this is live
pretty
demos
good.
now. Holy,
Yeah.
okay, there it is.
So it's pretty good in responsiveness, and it's all fingers, all 10 fingers.
Oh,
Well,
nice.
5 fingers here, but I can't put the other hand there because I'm on the camera. But
Cool.
yeah,
All right, so
unless I put my foot.
let's do some live
Yeah.
demos and show off kind of what you got there. So right now it's set up with your Stream Deck right there,
So
and
there.
yeah, that's a really cool interface to have that. So that's just off to the side, and then people
So
can
if I
just click
stick on
onto it.
that one, and it should boot up. But things are, I think it's going to take a little. Oh no, not too bad. Not too bad. I thought it was going to take a while because I hadn't had it plugged in for a while.
Yeah.
Control up.
Hyperspin AIO. There it is.
Yeah.
So I know you're showing this off, but you also do help out the guys with AIO, right? What is Hyperspin AIO, just for folks that don't know?
So Hyperspin IO is basically an all-in-one set, basically of everything. So it's got 16 terabytes worth of everything. So it's quite handy to have it all there and ready to go. Let me just do pinball. Bring up this one, and then we bring up Wolverine.
And the only reason why it's a little bit laggy is I think your internet's probably just a little bit choppy, but the
probably.
everything else is loading really, really fast. So I saw
So
videos
if I
of it.
switch around, I'm now sitting at vertical, and let me see if we can get that.
So this is a full-on PC version of FX3?
Yeah, PC version of FX3, and it works with the touchscreen.
Oh, look at that. Look how cool that is.
Oh, TV thinks I'm not here.
Uh-huh.
TV's got a shaft mode. Where's my controller? But there it is. Been sitting here for too long with it on. There we go.
Oh, I see.
But yeah, you can I can turn that off on my TV, but
Yeah.
I leave it on because sometimes I forget to turn it off.
That's so cool. Look at that. So full-on 40-inch FX3 pinball setup with the touchscreen PC. So that's
but you can see it's pretty responsive.
Yeah. I mean, try to do one more time I wonder if we can see the flipper sensitivity, because that's super important, right? When you're pressing it.
Yeah.
So he's playing an X-Men table on FX3, pulling back for the analog plunger, and then with one-handed, he's gonna try to go from left to right, and looking pretty good. You could probably put us some high scores doing that. Not bad.
Yeah, but you can see it's pretty responsive.
How do you nudge on a touchscrine? Do you have to like?
So with this, it's the same controls as the Android version. So I think it's if you just swipe, swipe that nudges. But I'm hitting the nudge by accident, so that's why I lost the ball. I was doing it a bit too vigorously. But you see how responsive it is. There's no lag. There's straight on.
Yeah, and again, it's just slow because your internet's just slightly choppy to see it because the frames are going too fast. But yeah, when it's running, it looks freaking good. So what does it play? Everything ever made? I mean, yeah. So
and also you can do it like that, so you can hold it like a pinball table.
Oh yes.
So on either side, so you don't have to play it like one hand. It's just because I've got camera in my hand.
Yeah.
All
And
right,
your
it's fine.
boy
Yeah.
Bobby Vu is here saying hello, clean like a
Hey,
mother.
Bobby, you all right, man?
Yeah, so your brother is helping out saying hello. I know that you've been partnering
Cool.
with Bobby and stuff. Have you been doing any collab projects with him? I know that he's the one who
So
introduced me to you.
yeah, so I did the Switch Gen 1 Hyperspin with
Yeah.
him. And basically going to be kind of releasing a newer version of it. Plus, it'll be a dual version, so you can run it with the Switch as well as the Hyperspin.
Yeah.
So that's
This
pretty
is so
cool.
cool. All right, go into another console game. So like I saw you had a controller that you were using. Was it just a
Yep.
regular Xbox controller just for
Yep.
navigation sake? Okay.
Yeah. So basically, that Hyperspin's not designed for touchscreen, but
Okay.
Simple Touch FE have just released 1.18.
Yeah.
And it's designed for touchscreen. So I'm gonna have a look at that and see how good it is.
Fancy. Yes, I've used Simple Touch FE for at least launching some things. But once you're in the front end and using the thing. But
Yeah.
I saw some other peripherals in your other things. So I saw
Mhm.
you have some 8-bit Do controllers
Yep.
and
So
for a cocktail play. Like what else do you have connected to this thing?
yeah, so that's the bit though. I've got two on either side, so you just basically sit it down and then you can play. Because luckily the cocktail side just shows from top end. That's pretty good. Other than that, I'm running an Android emulator as well to do the Android games. If to kind of do all the kind of things that you can't do in Windows that they don't have. So you know, you got 8-ball. My kid loves playing Ebony. I know it's one of those paywall things, but he loves doing the puzzles, and I don't mind it so much.
Do you have any actual board games on here? Because that's the thing about IGT. Do you have like Android board versions of the board games?
So I haven't downloaded the board games on Android, but I know the PopCap versions work.
Okay.
So if I go back into that and bring up the PopCap ones.
Yeah, because that's the whole point of the original IGT was the board game aspect of it. But you essentially just have a giant tablet and it's multifunction PC monitor that can run stuff. So again, this was just changing the coffee table TV concept, and then pretty much doing whatever you want with that size TV that you can do in that application form. But having it as a coffee table, I think like you can do it from this side. It's almost like a cocktail table application, right? Because like you could have done this into a cocktail table, and it's kind of that same concept.
And since Windows, you can flip the screen either direction in any way, in portrait or the other way. So it's Monopoly.
There it is. So we do have some board games on here through PopCap, which is very cool. All right.
Yeah. And also, what's really cool is Scum VM works on this as well with the touchscreen. So I get to play basically Day of the Tentacle, which is one of my favorite games, with touchscreen. And also there's a remastered version as well. That works with it also.
So cool. So this so PopCap Games is this running an Android emulator for
this PopCap Games, this is actual Windows
PC. Oh, it's Windows games. Okay, got it. So it's the Windows games full of stuff.
So let me just do this. Select the top pair or iron, add player, and then play. But it works. It's pretty much. I mean, some of these games are designed for mice, and it can emulate that anything that works with a mouse. But if it's designed specifically for touchscreen and multi-touch, it will work with that, with pinch and zoom and everything like that. But this was a really old game, so this is designed
the Windows version.
But click, hold, and flick, so you should be able to do it. And it should be able to flip up.
Yeah. Cool. So, I mean, talking about blowing A1 up. So, but the thing about this is it's still running a Windows version of the game. So it's still in this direction. So you're playing it here. If you had multiple people playing it though, you'd have to take turns in this view. So that's the thing that the Infinity Game Table versions of their games, because they're not just straight Windows or Android ports, they're redesigned to use that surround, like sitting around the table playing a true board game. So there's pros and cons for kind of both, but you know, the versatility of this is really cool. But yeah, that's what it's designed for. If you could ever get some of that stuff,
you know, that's the thing. It's down to the developers, right?
Yeah.
And I think with the Infinity, the developers actually built it that way. And you know, at some point, someone might actually start releasing software that does that and have that functionality. It's just that I think it's just everyone's got to have the idea. It's one of those things, because I've always wanted a Surface table. And
It's freaking cool,
I could
man.
never afford one, and I put this together, and it didn't cost me 10 grand like they used to.
Yeah.
So it's a lot better.
It's freaking cool. And so somebody was asking about 3DS
Mhm.
games or DS
Yeah.
things. Do you have
Yes.
does DS work on here with the touchscreen
Yes.
stuff work pretty
D,
well?
DS works pretty well. It's just that I haven't had a chance to play with it and set it up properly because I've got it in the horizontal setup. I haven't done it to the vertical setup yet,
Yeah.
but it works. So
Oh yes.
I can say that it does.
Meatball Saucy had a good idea, programming a window screen rotation feature into your Stream Deck. So if you needed to rotate it for somebody that was sitting at the table, you can.
Yes,
So if
that
you
can
have
be
extra
done.
buttons, you can just like turn it and be like, all right, your turn, your turn, your
Yeah,
turn. Yeah. Not a bad
yeah.
idea,
I
Saucy.
like
There
it. I
you go.
like it. I like it. Yeah. I think I'm gonna do that.
Great job, Saucy, for
Awesome.
bring it in. So, oh my Lanta, it's pretty darn freaking cool. What's your favorite thing that you've done so far with the table? Like the most favorite application that you've done that was like, damn, this is pretty damn sweet. This is pretty damn cool.
So I know we're all arcades and games and stuff, but you know
Mhm.
what? Google Earth actually blew my mind.
Really?
um,
Just a simple Google
lit-
Earth application?
yeah, just literally
Yeah.
being able to use it a full touch screen on a table
Like
and just
blow it
zooming
up,
around the world.
zooming around.
Yeah,
That's
pinching them,
right.
and also now the two fingers pull down, it goes into perspective. Everything's in 3D now.
Hmm.
So you got all the buildings in 3D and so on, and yeah, no, it's just having that on a table, and people are impressed by that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, that used to be one of the things I would do with I think when the smartphones first came out, it's like, look at Google
yeah,
Earth. Or like you
yeah.
can like see it.
But
That's pretty fun.
it's different when it's 40 inches.
That's true. That's true. My
Yeah.
goodness. All right. Well, awesome. Is there anything else you want to showcase and show off about this table? Kind of like other
Uh,
future plans you have for it? Is it 100% complete? Do you have other things to
so
do to finish it
I've
off?
I've got to tidy up. I mean, you can see the fan I've fitted just to keep the TV cool.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it there. So I've got to hinge 2 points here so I can close it up, and
Okay.
then maybe have parts out there. Originally, I was going to fit in here buttons for pinball, but
Mm-hmm.
then again, the touchscreen actually works, so I might not
Yeah.
actually do it and keep it
Yeah, you want
stock.
to. I'd keep it clean, man. It looks
Yeah,
really slick like that. Because then
yeah,
I think that's the cool thing. When it's off, it still looks like a coffee
mhm,
table, and then you're like,
yeah,
"Well, wait, there's more." And
yeah.
then,
So
yeah.
what I'm thinking might be a cool thing
Mm-hmm.
is that I've just fitted Smart Glass on my windows,
Mm-hmm.
where it goes clear when you press it and opaque. They do it
Mm-hmm.
in black, so in theory I could fit that film over the touch screen
Mm-hmm.
on the back side of it, so I can actually make the coffee table opaque, so then you can't tell at all whether there's a screen in there
Oh, that's
when
so
you're not
cool.
using it.
Yeah,
So that
yeah.
might be the next upgrade I might do to it in
Oh,
terms of
look
that.
at you. Very cool. Well, you're gonna have to keep me posted because now I'm super intrigued. If people wanted to do this on their own, tell us about the
Mhm.
cost of materials that you put into
Okay.
this, just for kind of
Yeah.
curiosity's sake.
So I only know the prices in UK GDP, so you might have to do a bit of conversion. So the coffee table I found was £179,
Mm-hmm.
which is something like $250.
Mm-hmm.
And the TV was brand new, cost 290. 299, I think it was, but it was an old TV that my dad didn't want anymore, and he gave it to me. So that ain't cost me
Always the
anything.
best when you can reuse things. Yep.
Yeah, pretty
Shop
much.
around. That's Bobby Vu
Yeah.
says shop around. $2
Yeah,
offer up.
yeah. But that's definitely it. As long as you can get a cheap TV and it works. I mean, what would be really cool is to go OLED, but
Ooh,
that's
yeah.
just too expensive.
Yeah,
But
that's too next level. I don't know if anybody's gonna. OLED's not gonna get cheap anytime soon. So.
yeah. And the touchscreen was about £219,
Yeah.
which that means I came in under a grand, basically, 1,000.
Yeah, which is pretty
Yeah.
much what I paid for my Infinity game table. It was $850 or whatnot, and
Yeah.
paid the Founders
Yeah.
Edition just to get my name in the credits. But I would,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
All
I
right.
mean, yeah, I think yeah, $1,000. I think it was would have got me this, and essentially,
Yeah.
but the problem is that's without the PC.
That's true. Yeah, so that was just
Yeah.
for the build
Yeah.
itself, and then you
Yeah.
have the PC that's pretty much
Yeah.
running everything else
Yeah.
at the moment
But
to get your setup.
I've plugged in my Switch into this. I've plugged in. It's literally a TV, so anything that goes to the HDMI can be plugged into it. So the Raspberry Pi can be plugged into it. So that's only about $40, right?
Yeah. If you do a Pi, that might be a simpler interface if you wanted to keep it simple. But I like my
But
PC, so
touchscreen
yeah.
ports on that as well on
Cool.
the Pi.
So about 1,000 US-ish, I would say, if you're
Yeah.
looking at raw parts. And then again, you'd have to do your own PC or a Pi setup. Very cool, man. I freaking love it. Thank you for showing this off. This is definitely the definition of next level. So I love talking to folks about what you did with the idea. And how did this start off as an idea for you? Was this something that you saw the Arcade1Up one and you wanted to like do your own, or have you always wanted to do this?
So I've always wanted to do this ever since I saw the Surface tables that came out from Microsoft. And you remember back in like 2000s, maybe 2000, 2009, 2010. I wanted to do it, but the thing is, though, the technology back then was using a Wii camera remote with an IR sensor, and it would register the color as a projector that would project the screen upwards. And it wasn't practical, and it was just too expensive. And you had to code in the way it would read the fingers and everything like that. And until recently, it's picked up that everything's cheap enough to get your hands on. And then I saw the Infinity table come out, and I went, wait, that means I could build some of this myself, and I can make it bigger as well. So yeah, so that's how it came about, really.
There it is. Inspiration drives creativity, and so I mean, this is gonna hopefully inspire some folks to get in there, do their own stuff. To Die For Bobby says, you and your brother also made a Game Boy game. That's true. You made your own video game, did you not?
Yeah, so we've been making games by ourselves as kids for many years, and we decided to kind of release some games ourselves, and we released a game. So we made a game ages back for a competition for a Game Boy kart dev kit, and we came second. It was a remake of Jetpack, but then my brother decided like we should remake it completely and sell it properly, and we made Jetpack DX, and we kind of released it ourselves.
Is that what you said? That was your son that was playing this too? Is that the one?
Oh no, this is our other game that we were working on. We built this game in a game jam.
But this is a game you developed.
Yes, so I did all the artwork for this. My brother did the coding, and it uses a leap motion, but this one we converted to touchscreen, so you can convert it by touchscreen. It's on itch.io if anyone wants to kind of download it. It's there. Look for Sobi Tech and look for Mau Castle.
Nice, cool. Can they find if people wanted to find out more information about all the stuff that you do? I did link to your YouTube channel, but I know you post like limited things there. What's the best way to see your stuff? And I know you're on some of the other social media platforms too.
Yeah, so I post on so I post on Facebook, mainly my main Facebook, and then I'll post out to the arcade group as well. And I've also got V Cosplay as my kind of a page. I think I originally had it for all the cosplay stuff I used to do. I built my own Totoro.
Did you? Oh,
yeah, I built my own Totoro. So it's got a screen. It's got a screen inside. It's got fans on the top. It basically I can see where I'm going because the camera's in the nose. It's a full suit, giant Totoro.
I have to look it up.
I got all the build process. Go check out the cosplay.
Okay, I gotta go check it out now. That sounds freaking amazing. I used to love doing like family cosplay things, but that sounds absolutely excellent. That's one of the things where you're surprised like how much people put into real good cosplay costumes, like especially the more complicated ones. But yours, like for a full suit, like you didn't just do a bodysuit, you like made like a camera for everything too.
I had to do it to see where I was going. Plus, I didn't want to die of overheat or overexhaustion heat. And so I had the cooling fan system and all the battery packs running in to keep me alive, basically. Yeah. It's the scariest thing in the world, being trapped inside that. So you're in the crowdiest Comic-Con in the world, but you can't see anybody and you can't interact with anyone only through a screen. It's weird.
Yeah. Okay. So where can I find that again? Did you say it was on
V Cosplay? Yeah, on Facebook.
On Facebook?
Page.
All right, V Cosplay on a Facebook page. Let's see if we can pull this up. I am really curious now. I want to check this out. V Cosplay. So it just sounds like you're a man of many talents here.
I like to do things. I like to build things.
Yeah, there's a lot of different groups out here. There's
Yeah,
so many versions of cosplay. Maybe you can send me a link in the
yeah. I'll
in the
send you a
chat.
link and it'll be easy that way.
Might be a little there. But also, so while he does that, that's not the only thing. He wants to hear Veebster Rakumarez called Street Fighter matches with that smooth British accent. Something you got going for you, man. Do you play Street Fighter? Are you pretty competitive? And
So I gave up playing Street Fighter because my two brothers were professional players.
what?
So they entered tournaments in the UK
Oh,
and
cool.
got really high scores and very good at it. So it got to the point where they were playing me one handed and it got depressing. So I gave up.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
one of
fun.
the things and they're my younger brothers, both of them. So it's like I'm not going to play anymore. But I play, but I'm not that good.
Yeah. Killer Pringles was also asking about the parts list and the link to your
Mm,
touchscreen part. So I can, if you
mhm.
send me stuff, be it if you
Yeah,
want to, I can
yeah,
drop it
yeah.
into the description
Okay.
of this video because people I'm
Yeah,
sure will
yeah.
watch this after today's stream and want to know
Sure.
how you did it. So if you can send me like a
Mm,
short parts list of everything that you
yeah.
just mentioned,
Mhm.
it might inspire some folks. So we'll do that, Killer
Yeah,
Penguins,
cool.
afterwards and tell people where they can go.
Mm.
Yeah. So cool. All right, I do want to show off this next level little thing too, because I thought this was the cutest little thing you put together. What was the inspiration for a Lego working Outrun freaking mini arcade cabinet? This is so cool. Talk
So
about
I
this.
I love Lego. I've always loved Lego. This is I think version 2. I think the final version I've got here, and I think, but I've always loved Lego, and I kind of wanted to kind of play with the motors and the engineering of it, and I never got around to it. But then, what happened is that we went into my wife's mother's loft, and she had stored all her Lego when she was a kid, and so we brought back tons and tons. So I had enough to kind of build this from all the bits of Lego, and it kind of what it was is like I had an idea to build an outrun cab, and I went, that'd be cool. So the first iteration was I built the cab, but with a mobile phone, as in an Android phone, and just emulated Outrun on it. And people thought it was amazing. And I thought, well, that's cool. But would it be cool if it looked a bit more like the cab and it moved? So
So
I
it's
thought, all
actually
right,
running. So you're running a real version of Outrun
yeah,
on here and playing with the
yes,
controller, though, right? So
yeah,
that's this is the
using May,
video. You're
yeah,
using MAME. How big is that
yeah.
screen?
It's a 3.5 inch. So it's using the what do you call it, the DPI for from the Pi directly.
Yeah.
So the Pi's right behind it.
Isn't this like the cutest little thing ever? I mean, so cool.
So
So
I mean,
talk. So you had it movable. So does it
yeah.
move
So yeah.
separately or during game? Like
So
how does that set up?
So I did a bit of coding with the Python to
Mhm.
hijack the controls when you're controlling it with a joypad. You can connect a Bluetooth joypad to a Pi
Mhm.
and control the games. Well, at the same, on the GPIO pins, I fitted that IR transmitter, and someone on the internet had already coded the code to kind of use the transmitter to control your TV.
Mhm.
So someone put the codes up for the Lego Lego motors, because
Mhm.
they're all
So you can
controlled
move
by
it left and
IR
right.
signals. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would intercept the controls from the Pi, from the joypad, and then send the correct signal to the cab, and it would move the motors to the direction your opposite direction of what you're turning.
Yeah. Do you
So,
have do you
yeah.
have a video of that? Was that on your YouTube? Did I miss it? Or is that not? Or
Yeah,
is that not it?
I might posted it only on Twitter.
On
So
Twitter? Okay.
yeah, I need to post it onto. I think. I mean, I can go live because I've got it up and running here.
All right, let's do it live. Let's see it. So, I
Yeah.
mean, this is just a demo. If you can go to his Veepster's
Yeah.
channel if you want to check it out. And I'm going
Can you guys see
to.
it?
All right, yeah, let's get you full screen again so we can
All
see
right, here
this.
we go.
There it is. There it is. That's that's
So
big with the base. Yeah, look at
yeah.
that.
So now what I've done is I've put the battery in there. The speaker is built into the base underneath here.
Mhm,
Here's the kind of motor and gearing,
mhm,
and this is with the receivers here. And this is the original controller, but
mhm.
I made a little stand for that. And then we should power this up. Sorry. There we go. And then you should be able to put some coins in and then start the game. Ooh, can you see it?
You move it up a little bit. We can't see the screen.
Up a bit. There we go.
Pointing
How's that?
down.
Yeah, how's that?
Yes. Yeah, it's a little
Cool.
bit slow to start. There it is. Perfect. Yep.
There we go. And then basically, if I turn, it should pick up the movements. Oh, I think I've.
You have to do this like one-handed.
One-handed controller plus everything else.
I
But
know.
it basically turns. I don't know if you can see.
I hear it, but the internet's just a little. Oh, there it goes. There it is.
Yeah.
So it's turning. Is it turning while you're playing the game? Like, is you turn it left and right?
Pretty much. And then
Okay.
someone said it's a shame that the steering wheel doesn't turn when you turn. So I made the steering wheel turn as well.
Is that lights? Do you have LED lights in the back of that?
LED lights as well. Lights up when you're turning. I was going to program it to do it as actual brake lights, but haven't had time to do it.
Oh,
But
my
essentially,
goodness.
and also there was a camera. I put a camera in it to kind of look at the screen because I was hoping to stream it online so people could actually play the cab. But the problem is there's a 20 millisecond lag on it, so you can't actually play properly.
I see.
Yeah, but it would have been cool. I'd be sitting there and watching someone playing the Outrun cab online. That would have been cool. But you would have crashed a lot.
Yeah, and that's not the only Lego thing that you built, by the way. I saw you also had a little fascination with putting something else together. So talk about this.
Right. So this is my Lego pinball machine that I put together from a mobile phone and a what's it called again? The RG350. Essentially, so yeah, I couldn't have a full-size pinball table, so I built a Lego one, and then this was before getting the coffee table and using it as a pinball table, so I had a tiny pinball table instead.
Yeah, nice. Do you still have this built, or did you have to like cannibalize it for the Outrun?
This is the story of how the Outrun cab really became about. I moved this and dropped it. It exploded and went everywhere, and I went, So I built the Outrun cab instead. Instead
of putting this one back together.
Yeah.
What are the little features that you're pulling? What are the little features that you're pulling out?
In there, that's how I fitted the backboard. I'm using another device, and you have to set it, be able to pull it out and things. I mean, I converted this into a switch one afterwards, so you can slide a switch in.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
This is so freaking genius. So, like, what's the dimensions on this that we're looking at right now, just so that people get an idea for size?
This is a Poco X3, I think it is. Is the Android phone.
Okay.
About that size. Probably about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inches by 1, 2, 3, 4 inches ish.
Very cool. All right, so you've done it all. I feel like if you can't have it, you will build it. That is like your mantra. It sounds like.
Let's say when I was a small kid, we weren't the kind of richest family in the world, and we couldn't afford toys. So I built my own transformer out of cardboard that we had laying around, and the transformer was Metroplex. Because I always wanted.
You picked Metroplex as the giantest transformer.
And I never owned Metroplex, so the only way I could work out how Metroplex was built was looking at the catalogs that would sell them, and that's how I worked out how to build it out of cardboard. No, that's the kind of stuff I did as a kid. Yeah, we didn't have any money.
Yeah, you got to get creative. I know exactly what you mean. I used to. Not my fanciest cosplay I ever built was I have Robotech stuff in my background, and I made a robot version of a Valkyrie for my 4-year-old son about 5 years ago now, and it was just a super deformed version of it, but it's just fun what you can do with cardboard. I think when I was in college I made an Optimus Prime outfit cosplay out of cardboard, but I'm sure you can do much more fancier things. I gotta get that. Did you send that V cosplay thing?
Not yet. I haven't had a chance.
I know we're so busy, but maybe we can do that another.
Yeah, I built out of expanding foam. So I mean, the history behind that is I wanted to be Totoro. I know it's cheesy, but I love that cartoon. It's my favorite cartoon. I kind of looked at a Pepakura kind of a page where someone had made a paper Totoro. I thought I could do that out of foam. So I got upholstery foam for a sofa. I cut all the parts like Pepakura, put it together, and then I got expanding foam. You know, the builder stuff that you use for insulation between windows?
Yeah.
I used that and sprayed it all over and then carved it and spent hours and days carving it until it carved the shape. Then I learned how to sew and sewed the fur onto it, and then put it together. Yeah, I've got to get you like so you can understand what I'm talking about. It's a really abstract way of saying it.
I know, that's cool. I'm seeing if I can find it, but I can't. Oh, you'll have to link it to me because I
Well,
think
yeah,
it's one of those things where there's so many people on
yeah,
Facebook that you can't just search for things anymore. But
yeah. I know it's
anyways,
so difficult. Yeah.
you're a man of many talents. We're kind of coming up on the hour for folks. Akuma Rev kind of said it best that, dude, mad props. You took these childhood dreams and you made real adult toys out of them. So that's pretty freaking awesome. And appreciate you coming on the show. Do you have any other future projects to, highlight? And I'm sure I'd love to invite you back some on, but what is the next thing for Veebster, Viet, V cosplay, whatever you want to go by?
The Halloween thing. So basically, that's this thing here. You guys might have seen the posts. It's the animated Halloween picture.
I did see that. That was freaking awesome.
So Halloween's coming up, so I'm going to be projecting onto the screens of my house and having this out to scare the kids and stuff.
Look at that. So that is an animated portrait style that you just loaded up with. Is that running a Pi, or what are you running to?
So at the moment I'm running through Windows, but it's going to be running from a Pi 3 with a PIR sensor. So when someone walks past, it will play the video.
It'll actually like start transforming and moving.
So stay still until someone walks up by it, and then it'll start doing things and transforming. And
zoom in a little bit closer so people can see how like creepy that is. Look at that. So it's and it has different versions. I think I've seen this before, where like there's different loops, right? So it's not always the same one.
It will all change, and I'm just showing the same one at the moment. That's the only one I got set up. But the thing is, after this is done, I'm going to change the frame out and then turn it into a smart mirror.
Oh, what does that mean?
So
you can see a video version of yourself? Or?
No, it's literally you put it in the wall. It's a mirror, so you can look at yourself. But also it will tell you the time, the date, the weather, what the train schedule is like, or anything like that, and what your daily kind of notifications are and things like that. So that duplicate uses.
This is so freaking cool. All right, so
this is really cheap. It's just a 27-inch monitor and a frame, and just stuck it on, and then apply free. So it's not expensive.
Not expensive, but super creative. I think you have inspired many on the show to look at all these little arcade things you have in your background. So for folks that want to know about your arcade stuff, what other home arcades do you have? I know you have a Star Wars that you were working on.
So I got the Star Wars cab with your mod, which is awesome. Thank you very much for that, by the way. But I have to finish that. There's a small arcade that I'm working with the video marquee, essentially, and there's the bigger one with the video marquee as well. That's the Arcade1Up with championship edition. Actually, this is it's a bit of a mess at the moment, but this is the custom Mau Mau Castle arcade machine I built for our game. So essentially, I turned it into a trackball game. So
are you showing something else right now? It's going down.
Oh, sorry, here, you see it?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I built a custom arcade machine of our game.
Oh, into that little cubby. Very nice.
Yeah. So you know that game that with the cat and my kid was playing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I made an arcade machine of it, but made it a trackball version.
The trackball
with the grass.
Very cool.
Fake grass and But yeah. So
that's awesome.
The arcade things are kind of built. I've got various things sitting around. It's just that finding the time to do it all.
Oh, look at this playroom of dreams for like that creative space. So I think you definitely inspired some folks. But so people were asking, what are the extra buttons on your Star Wars game? So that's was me putting extra buttons into a yoke that just are mostly for looks, but you can use them for other things. Playing games with the yoke is really fun. I mean, you can do racing, flying, all sorts of stuff. But that's pretty cool. But I know that you're going to take it and tweak it and do some next level stuff with it. So when you finish that project, let me know. We'll get you back on. I'm curious to see what your take is on everything.
I've also got the Gunfire stuff, which I've been messing around with. I might do some mods there, and also I just got my hands on. Anyone remember? Is it called BattleTech for the Xbox OG? And it came with a peripheral, which is a giant deck with one joystick here, main control panel button. I managed to get my hands on one of those. So I'm gonna work. Yeah, I'm gonna try and work out how to do it. It's got pedals and everything, so
Oh, is that a Steel Battalion? Is that something different?
Yes, that's the one. Steel Battalion. That's the one.
Steel Battalion.
You're right.
You have a Steel Battalion controller?
Yeah.
I have a Steel Battalion controller as well that I've been wanting to like. I originally,
Yeah.
because I made this Macross machine behind me,
Yeah.
right, and
Yeah.
I wanted to like have a dual stick mod. For the
Yeah.
longest time I was like, do I
Yeah.
just buy 2 flight sticks? Do I use that?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that it wasn't that's Steel Battalion controller wasn't compatible in Windows without some funky drivers. But
Ah.
I don't know what your plan is to like getting it working, but
Well, I
I
might take it apart. I mean, I got it really, really cheap. I mean, really cheap. So I might take it
really
apart.
I
Yeah.
did the same thing. I mean, I paid I think I paid like 150 or 200 US for it, which I thought was still cheap for what it was going for.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
bought an
Yeah. Yeah.
ultimate ultimate iPack, something
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
UHID to be able to
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
plug everything
Yeah.
in so I
Yeah.
can get the
Yeah.
64
Yeah.
inputs. So I already
Yeah.
have the guts of it ready to go.
Ah.
And
Yeah.
I was gonna like redo it. So yeah,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
we can do it side by side. When you finish yours,
Yeah.
I'll finish mine. And we'll have
Cool.
some freaking that's one of my like long time projects I've been wanting to
Yeah.
do for a while,
Yeah.
just to figure it
Yeah.
out. But cool, man. Awesome. It was so awesome talking to you. Any
Definitely.
last things you want to plug and mention before we end the show?
Nah, it's cool. I mean, if you want to kind of check out some of the Hypersin All-in-One stuff, we've got a Facebook page. Just search for Hypersin All-in-One and check us
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
Hyperspin AIO.
Yeah. Yeah.
There it is. Awesome. Thanks, Veebster, so much for joining the show. Everybody, have a
Okay.
wonderful rest of your day. Get some sleep, man. It's really late because you're all the way in the UK. I appreciate you coming on with us. It's over. It's almost close to 2 a.m. for you. But I appreciate you so much. So hang out after the show. I'd love to chat with you. Otherwise, have a great night. See ya. Bye.
Yeah.